Like if I want to go back to the oneness, the full on, the alpha, omega, it all, and be for a bit, then I can, or I can go play in these other dimensions. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Hello, if you are new, my name is Andrea Johnson. I'm a Reiki Master and Psychic Development Teacher and a Transformation Coach. Welcome to the Good Vibe Tribe. Welcome to another episode of what I call Conscious Coffee Talks, where we discuss a topic to expand our consciousness. So, with that being said, I have I have some water today. It's a little too late for the coffee, guys, but let's dive into today's topic. So today's topic is honestly spur of the moment, and it is inspired action that I am taking. So I am just freeballing this, guys. There's no script, no nothing. We're just channeling information. So this really stemmed from a conversation that I was having with a Reiki client and a student on just the afterlife, spirit world, having encounters with spirits and what to do when this occurs to you or someone that you love. And I've also had conversations with other people hit me up just about curiosity on what happens in the afterlife, where this is, I think, one of mankind's greatest mysteries is what the heck happens to us when we die? What is the other realm even like? So guys, in this video, I'm going to break down what I believe really happens to us when we cross over into the spirit realm, the energy world, the astral realm, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to break down why I think it is the way that it is. And I'm gonna go over just what to do whenever you do encounter spirits and why it is that we come across these things. So first off, guys, everything in our universe is energy. This whole universe is the mind of God. So with that being said, since everything is energy and everything is the mind of God, there really is no difference between us and the spirit realm, because everything is happening right here, right now. It's all just vibrating at different frequencies. So you can think of it as separated out by different dimensions. The more you raise your vibration, the more that you are actually aware that these things already are existing and going on around you. You're just aware of it, and so therefore you can see it. And when you raise your vibration, it kind of like signals to the other side of, they see like a light and they're like, oh hey, and they come and want to communicate. This is why psychics, or you know, if you want to say mediums, that is how they communicate. They raise their vibration and then they are aware of the communication, and they have special communication methods that they've already discovered with the other realm, with the universe, with the energy, because it is all ultimately one, vibrating at different frequencies, that they understand how to bring the message back. So that's a little bit of insight on the best way that I can describe of how we truly are not separate from the other world. It's just vibrating at a different frequency. We live in the 3D reality. We live in a dimension where energy manifests as physical form. Your body is made up of matter and is a physical manifestation of the energy that is you, which is your soul slash ego, is the character that you're playing right now in this life, in this existence right here, right now, the experience that you wanted to have. So you're vibrating at a lower frequency, and that is just the human experience. Ultimately, you are connected to these higher dimensions of being, these higher frequencies. They are pulling in your body. Your body is the conduit. It is the epicenter, basically, of everything taking place. So let me see if I can say this a little bit differently. So your body is in your soul, right? This whole thing is the mind of God, yes? So your body is like a drop of water in a sea of energy. So the body's job is just to spend energy in it to have a human experience. So you, your soul, which is spirit, could have a human experience and forget about who it actually was for a little while. Hence, the ego steps in and it focuses down on this one little point in the sea of energy, which is your story, the story you're creating, that is your life, that you would call God. So you have three things, really. You have the power of your intention, which is the mind of God, which dictates or controls the energy, creates your reality. You have a body which harnesses energy, right? That is you to have this human experience. And you have the heart of God, the same heart as God, that loving energy that truly is us, powering up this body. You have the heart and love of God to power your life and create with it here in the physical to see manifestations come to life over time. So we all know that's an illusion. So because we feel separate with this body, because then it is illusion, the body is the veil. Okay, that is the veil of forgetfulness. I think there's one more aspect to it, and that's a whole nother video, but we feel separate from these things. So the only difference between you and an entity or a spirit or a ghost is you have a body and they do not. They vibrate at a higher frequency. So therefore, the communication style is going to be different, because we're not going to really be able to, it's like a game of charades, kind of. So the communication style is going to be different. And you're going to have to raise your vibration to actually communicate and see these things that, once again, are already going on. And it's just a part of life. It is just another aspect of life that a lot of people shut themselves off from because they are fearful. And these beings, these spirits, are nothing to be afraid of, because they are just another aspect of you. They are an unconscious aspect of you, and that is why you're able to communicate. That's why you're seeing them. That's why they're in your field. They just don't, nothing happens by coincidence, right? That is just the way the energy works. So there is a reason it is in your field and wanting to communicate with you. Now, if you do not want to communicate with it, which is another aspect of you, right? You're holding meaning to this spirit coming to you, right? It's either causing fear. There might be an underlying reason why it wants to communicate that needs to be brought up to your conscious awareness, whatever so it may be. You're the channel for that communication taking place, whether you think you're psychic or not, or meaning to do it or not. That is just a natural ability of a lot of humans, of all humans. We all are psychic, but you probably just haven't shut it off if you're experiencing these things and don't want to experience them. So it's just because you are unaware of your true power and what you actually are, and that these things really should not be fearful. Yes, spirits can move things. Yes, energy can move things. Yes, you can see things. It is real. I'm not saying that this isn't real, guys, because imagination is real. It's just vibrating at a different frequency, right? It exists in another realm. It's the same kind of thing. You're not imagining these things, me saying that they're another aspect of you, because they just are you. And it is real because you're feeling them, you're experiencing it. It's in your energy field, right? So don't think you make these things up or that you're crazy. Other people just won't be able to see it the way that you do. So to shut this off, if you do not want to communicate, all you have to do is use the power of your intention, which is the mind of God. You just have to state to the spirits you do not want to communicate with them right now, that you don't even want to see it, you don't want to have anything to do with it. If you want this whole ability to shut off, you can make your psychic abilities, your third eye, your psychic senses go dormant. I've done it before because I've been fearful. So maybe that is the road that you want to go. Maybe you would like to explore these abilities that you have and see what it is that the spirit wants. Maybe it wants you to help it in some way. Maybe it needs to bring some information to your conscious awareness. So then you would have to develop your unique communication method with that spirit, or just with the energy in general, because it's usually kind of the same. You just build it upon it with new experiences, new methods that will come to your awareness over time. So you build out like what I call a dictionary, or what my spiritual teacher told me to build my psychic dictionary, or my signs and symbols dictionary. So that's the way in which the universe communicates, mostly is through signs and symbols. What things mean in the external world, what they mean to you mentally. Now I wouldn't go around assigning things logic and meaning, like, and finding symbolism and everything, because that would just be, you would go crazy. But only to things that actually truly mean something, that you feel that little nudge or that internal shift of like, oh shit, that was a sign. Kind of getting off topic here, but so that is the way that you can shut these things off, is with the power of your intention. Now, where people kind of run into issues with this is when they try to shut it off with the power of their intention, but the fear keeps feeding the spirit. So fear feeds fear. The fear keeps those things around in your field, and then therefore you're caught in this cycle, right? So you're keeping them around with your fear. So what you have to do is set the intention and just let it go. Know that it has happened, that they don't exist because you're telling them that you are done. So don't be fearful, because fear feeds fear, and that will keep them around. So you can draw the line. You have the power. The human has the power. It has the mind of God, and this is our playground in the 3D. We are more of a vibrational match for this reality, and they exist in the same mind of God, in the same playground, just at a different level of frequency. So we can shut it off because we're more dominant here in the physical. At least that's kind of my theory, guys. So let's go into a little bit of what happens in the afterlife. So this might bring more of a picture to life for you guys. This is based off of all of my experiences, all of my learnings, working with people, doing readings for people. This is what my conclusion of what happens to us in the afterlife is. And it's not right or wrong, guys. And if you hold another opinion, please just take what you resonate with off of this video. And if you don't, then oh well. So anyway, so my idea of what happens to us when we cross over is the silver cord has either become detached, or you're kind of waffling in between of like having a near death and then coming back. So your soul is detached from the body. The body is no longer able to house or spend energy. That is your soul, right? So it becomes detached, and you lose a level of vibration from this, meaning your ego. You lose a little bit of your ego because it was tied to the body. The body is the physical. Mother Earth will always take back what we borrowed from her, right? So you leave those earthly energies here, because those are the lower 3 chakras, guys. Your root, your sacral, and your solar plexus have all the energies to do with being a human. So they are ancestral energies that we keep passing down over and over, healing karma, if you want to call it that. So you're gonna lose some of that. When you lose some of that heaviness, your vibration's automatically going to raise when you leave your body. So you've raised up to that next level of dimension, frequency, whatever you want to call it, in the energy realm. The astral kind of probably depends upon how much energy you shed. It probably depends upon how much energy you left with your body, where your conscious awareness was at when you died, will determine how much of the ego you're still tied to, and what really creates your reality when you get to that energy realm. So some people probably come into the full knowing that they're spirit, and when they leave their body, they're just like, oh, yep, popped out, and I'm light as a feather. Yep, I totally forgot I was there having a human experience. I did what I needed to do. Let's go and choose what else I want to do now. And then you just kind of keep reminding yourself over and over of like, you come back to the remembering. So your vibration is raising subtly, because you no longer have that veil. You no longer have the body, right? So over a period of time, you just kind of come back into the remembering that you are spirit and source, and you get to go do whatever else you want to do next, whether that be come back as another human, whether that be go live as an alien somewhere, whether that be just float around for a bit or chill. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. So you get to decide what you want to do. Now, yes, there is a life review. I have watched so many near-death experiences of where everyone has gone through a life review. I've learned about this in my courses. You will go through a life review. It's probably a little bit different video, but you will see significant points in time of your experience as the ego that is you, or that you just had and died from, that really were learning points for you, that either you experienced what you need to, or you might want to go repeat another life that was similar to try again. So that is essentially kind of the first part of it. Now let me kind of go back into when you leave the body, you kind of carry over this certain conscious awareness that you were at. Yes, you raise in vibration, but what you think happens to you after you die will play into the reality that actually does. Because remember, this is all the mind of God. It is all a dream manifested in some kind of form. Here it is the physical form. There you're still creating, because universe is mental. Universal law, Hermetic law 101. Universe is mind. So whatever you believe will happen to you will play a fact or a part on what does. So if you think you're gonna have judgment from a man in the sky, you might be greeted by angels. You might end up at the gates of heaven, of whatever you imagine that to be, and you might actually play out this scene with God. But you always will come back to the remembering that it is you. But this was just part of you coming back to the remembering that is you, right? Just like how the human can come back to the remembering, it's just playing the part of it. Like whatever that looks like, whether you're doing it through meditation, your breath work, whatever. Whenever you cross over and you still hold a little bit of that ego of, like, you maybe pop out of your body and you look down and you're like, oh shit, that's my body right there. That's, that's me. And then you have the rememberings of over, like, you slowly start to remember who it is that you are. And therefore, when you come back into the full remembering is when you rejoin with source. So I think that there's a little bit of a decision that can be made before then. I think you will actually kind of know that, oh yeah, shit, I am source. Like, if I want to go back to the oneness, the full on, the alpha, omega, it all, and be for a bit, then I can. Or I can go play in these other dimensions, right? But ultimately, your consciousness will decide what really happens. And I don't want that to scare people, because if you think you're gonna burn in hell, like, you don't want to manifest that, right? So I truly think that that wouldn't happen to somebody. At least, we all hear about Jesus spending 3 days in hell or something like that. I truly believe that there will be another unconscious aspect of you come through and assist you into your remembering. So that could show up as guides helping you in the other realm. That could show up as angels. That could show up as God itself. However way your consciousness wants to play a game with itself to help you remember who you are and raise your vibration through the different levels of dimension, which is raising your vibration. So all the way back to oneness. So anyways, guys, I hope this made sense. I should have talked about the ego a little bit more to maybe break it down. But the ego is the idea that is you. So when you lose the body, you're losing an aspect of an idea that you held about yourself. You're losing part of your ego. And then the remembering is just the shedding of the ego and coming into the full idea, or the full knowing that you are source. Your soul is spirit. It's all the same thing. Where we are unique bundles of soul is held together by the power of our intention. Our mind holds those certain levels of frequency together, those different thoughts that we have about ourselves that create an identity that's held together by our form of thought, right? Thought is energy, power of the intention. So as you raise your vibration, you're coming back to the remembering, and you're losing those ideas about yourself because you're remembering that those don't really exist. You are consciousness. And the only thing that exists is the frequency of love combined with consciousness. Might have been all over the place. Hopefully this was a good conscious coffee talk, a spur of the moment. We're approaching spooky season. So guys, I want all of the ideas that I can make videos on for you guys to discuss ghosts, spirits, just, you know, the metaphysical. This is my jam that we are about to get into with spooky season. And guys, if you enjoy my videos, you enjoy my channel, I would really like if you would give it a like, a thumbs up, a subscribe. It really helps me grow and build my good vibe tribe. We'll see ya.